Hey there, I'm Donna, founder and CEO of Convotect, a full-service messenger chatbot agency. Thanks for joining me to learn how to create a chatbot business card. As you know, it's conference season, and I'm super excited to use my chatbot business card to connect with all of the amazing people I'm going to meet. Since many of us will be at Social Media Marketing World and are really pumped about networking, and because messenger chatbots are one of the tracks, I thought you may also like a chatbot business card. What is a chatbot business card? It's a business card that actually starts and continues conversations using a messenger scan code. For mine, people scan the messenger code and they're immediately greeted by name by a happy waving bear. They're provided my information digitally and they can easily share theirs. And people love it. It's fun, creative, and engaging. And you're going to love using this emerging technology because it makes you look even cooler than you already are, and it's much more efficient than traditional business cards that run out, get lost, and usually require some form of manual data entry into a CRM or a spreadsheet. You can use messenger scan codes in print and digitally, and you can even create a unique conversation for each depending on its use. For instance, you might use this one for Social Media Marketing World. You might create a separate one for a different event that you're attending, or you might put one on a mailer, a flyer, or other materials. On this slide, you'll see the scan code being used on the lock screen of a smartphone. I got to give a shout out to my girl Natasha at School of Bots for this idea. And here you'll see my standard business card that I hand out when I meet people randomly or I use as a leave behind, for instance, on the community board at the local coffee shop. Notice how I have instructions on there? People are just learning about messenger scan codes, so be prepared to tell them how to use it or provide instructions. So how does this work? What happens is somebody scans the code, they are presented your page's messenger opens, and they'll be presented with the Get Started button. Once they tap that button, they're automatically subscribed to your messenger list. They'll be provided your contact information, and they'll have the opportunity to share theirs. If you haven't tried it, go ahead. Scan this code or the one on the previous slide. Depending on your screen's resolution, it may or may not work. Hopefully it does. So how are we going to accomplish all this? First, we're going to configure your chatbot business card template. Next, we're going to connect it to your Facebook business page. After that, we're going to create your scan code. And then finally, we're going to discuss some next steps. Oh, and don't forget the bonus that I've provided. All of the information that we collect from your users who want to share their contact info is going to be pushed automatically to a Google Sheet, which will make things neat and organized for you. At this point, you should have signed up for this training using my chatbot. You should have already then received your chatbot business card template for use with your Chatfuel account, and you should have set up any other accounts and content that you'll need. If you haven't done that, please do so I can get you your template and so you have exactly what you need to easily finish this project. Let's begin. Okay, I am going to go off camera and we are going to go into our Chatfuel dashboard. All right, I am in my template for the business card and you should go to yours. The first thing we're going to talk about are these items here on the left. These are called tabs. They offer different information depending on what you're doing. For the purposes of this session, we're going to spend our time in the Automate tab and a little bit of time down in the Configure tab. These next items are called blocks. We have the welcome message block and the default answer block at the top. Then under information, we have a block called read first. That is just some text that I put there known as comments that provide just some information about what we're doing, why we're doing it, and how, just for reference so you can go back to it. And once this video is done, I'll put the link in here to this video. Down in the following section is called business card. That's where all the magic's going to happen. So let's click on that block called business card welcome. Here's where we're going to configure our chatbot. The first thing that you'll see are these user attributes. You don't really have to do anything with them. Just know that they're kind of like tags for helping you understand what your user's journey is, the information they've seen, and any data that you want to collect about them. So this one that's first here is called subscribed. We want to tag them as subscribed. If you send information out to them in the future, such as a broadcast, and they unsubscribe, then you would want to make sure that you keep track of that. We never want to send information to people who don't want it. Next tag you'll see is one called Business Card SMMW19 for Social Media Marketing World 19 Scene. And we're putting this value as true. This is my way of tracking where people come into the chatbot. So I'm going to tag everybody that I use this business card with at that event with this tag. And the next is the fun part. Okay, so your template came with this GIF. This is the one that I use for my business card, but you're welcome to change it. To do so, just hover over and you'll see a replace option. Go ahead and hit replace, and when you do that, it's going to open File Explorer. So wherever you have your images, your GIFs, those types of things saved, you'll be able to pull those down into here. Keep in mind that if you crop a GIF, it's going to freeze. It will no longer be animated. So find a GIF that you like as it is so that you don't have to crop it, because that kind of defeats the purpose. Other things that people use here are pictures of themselves, sometimes their company logo, etc. Next is the text that's going to be presented along with that GIF. And that is, hi, first name, and a little wave emoji. Wonderful meeting you at Social Media Marketing World. I'd love to continue our conversation. They're going to see what's called a typing action. And these are the little text kind of typing bubbles that show up when people are texting. So you kind of know to anticipate something next, because following this is this next part. Here's my information. Donna Queen, CEO of Convotect, email address, phone number. Feel free to schedule some time on my calendar or drop me a line. And please share your information with me. So in your template, I just included some placeholders. So go ahead and change those out. You just put your cursor wherever you want in this card and change it accordingly. And then down here, you'll see 3 buttons. Now, it's a Facebook limitation that these cards only have they have a 3-button limit, so just know that you can't try to add any more here. This first button, I'm going to open that up so you can see it. We have 3 options. We could send our user to a different block within our chatbot. We could send them to a URL, and we can send them to a phone number. For the purposes of this button, book a discussion, we will put a URL, and this would be typically to your scheduling platform. I use Calendly, so that's what mine currently has. Right now, clearly, I just have a placeholder in there, so you can go ahead and change that out with what you use. If you don't want to use this at all, just hover over the button. You'll see the little trash can, and you can delete it. Next, we have call text me, and so this is where we'll use the phone call feature. Go ahead and plug your phone number in there, and just know that this first number is associated with the country code. So you do have some other settings here that you can use. If you're outside of the US, just make sure that you change that. And then share my info. This is going to take us to the block called networking, where we are going to ask a series of questions in order to capture the information from our users. Now, it should have remained populated in your template. However, if it didn't and it's blank like this, you just go to the block section and type networking. And then select that and then just click wherever, and that is saved there. So going back over to the left here, let's go into that networking block. And when your user taps that, this is what they're going to see next. Yay! So I can be most helpful. Are you interested in doing business together, partnering, or simply staying in touch? And your user is going to be presented these three options from which to choose. These are called quick replies. And you'll see just underneath that there's a conversation pause. So nothing is going to happen until your user selects one of these options. Also, to the right, you'll see that I've added a unique attribute. Depending on what your user selects, we're going to save that selection out to this attribute called user interest. And this is one of the data points that we're going to push to our Google Sheet. So once they select their particular interest, they're going to be presented with this text. Wonderful, please share your information. And we're going to continue our series of questions here in this block. So again, if this block wasn't populated in your template, which it should be, go ahead and just put your cursor and start typing and it'll pop out. I already have it here, so it's not going to pop up. And so over on the left again, we're going to go into that block, collect contact info. So again, I just have a tag here so that we know they've made it this far in their journey. And the question they're going to be asked next is, what is the name of your business? And we're going to save that input to an attribute called business name. Working our way down here, the next question is, what is your best email address? And you'll see that it says that there might be a suggested one. They can either tap it or type a different one. And most of the time that I've seen, when people get to this point, Facebook does present them with the email address that they have on file with their Facebook account. Again, they can select it or they can type a different one. Regardless, we're going to save that information to an attribute called email. Same thing with phone number. What is your phone number? Use the suggested one below or type a different one, and we're going to save that to phone. The next thing we're going to do is ask them to share their website address, their Facebook page, Insta username, anything else that they feel that they want to share for the purposes of connecting. And we're going to save this to an attribute called business site or social. And then last, if you're anything like me, you will appreciate a little helpful hint in what we discussed or should discuss going forward. So this question is, anything in particular you would like to discuss? And we're going to save that out to an attribute called additional info. Okay. We're going to skip this just for a second. Once they've provided all of that information to us, they're going to get a message that says, awesome, I can't wait to connect with you more, and we'll be in touch. And then I just like to reiterate that, meanwhile, they're welcome to book a discussion or call me. So I have those items here again. And then at the very bottom here is a quick reply, just in case anybody using your business card, if you want to encourage them to get their own or share it with others. This is just a way of me continuing to pay it forward if anybody else would like one. You can feel free to remove that if you want, and you would do so just by hovering here over these little three dots, and you would just select delete. I'll show you what that looks like in just a minute. Let's go back up to Save to Google Sheets. This is where we are going to push all of these items that we collected into our Google Sheet. Now yours says connect to Google Sheet or connect to account or connect to Google Sheets, I can't remember. And you are going to tap that connection button. And when you tap that button, you are going to be presented your list of Google accounts, or maybe it's just one if you have one. And you're going to need to select which Google account you want this Google Sheet to connect to. And then you're going to get an authorization prompt for Chatfuel to share information with that account. So go ahead and walk through those couple of steps to connect your Google Sheet. You might have to sign into your Google account. I've seen that too before, where I've had to do that. So once you connect your Google Sheet, you should see here, owned by Google account, let's chat at convotech.com or whatever one you connected to, obviously. So we are going to select now which attributes we want to send over to our Google Sheet. And again, I made it easy by just including the names of those attributes right here for our quick reference. So the first one is business card. Oh, and actually, even when I click in this field, you'll see from the drop-down list, many of them that we are going to need to select. So let's do that. And I like to do them in order because these are actually going to be the headers on your Google Sheet. So make it easy on yourself and put them in an order that makes sense. So we're going to do first name, last name. Be careful because there's a last scene. We want last name. Oh, there we go. User interest, business name, email, phone, business site or social, and additional information. And then you can just click over here to close that. All right, we are going to test our chatbot business card here in just a moment. I just want to show you that share option before I forget. So when somebody taps share, it basically says that they can use the card below to share this with others on their messenger list, and that any friends and family will thank them for doing so. When they're presented with this card, they can actually try out the template business card that I've created, or they can sign up to get their own template and the link to this video. Okay, back to collect information. We've completed all of that. Make sure attributes are still here. Perfect. All right, let's test our chatbot. In the upper right-hand corner, you're going to see two options. Connect to Facebook, which we don't want to do yet, and test this chatbot. So go ahead and click on test this chatbot. Then you're going to get an option that says view on messenger.com. So you want to select that. So go ahead and go into Messenger. Okay, I'm going to shrink mine down here a little bit. All right. So here's what we've got. Okay, so I'm going to scroll down. Actually, I already populated all of mine. So you'll see I went in here and I didn't want my phone number, my email address, obviously, to be shared. So I am here. I selected share my info. So you can see that. Next, I was prompted to say what my particular interest was. I selected partnering. Wonderful. And then it walked me through those questions that we had created. Business name. There's my email address and phone number that I wanted to share. My website. And anything in particular? Yes, let's talk about how your clients can use messenger chatbots to maximize communications and engagement. There's the confirmation message. Awesome. So that all worked. So the next thing we're going to do now is connect it to our Facebook page. We need to do this in order to get our scan code. However, before, let's go into the welcome message because we want to get rid of this. Go ahead and delete that go-to block. We're deleting that because if somebody comes to your Facebook Messenger page and selects send message, if we leave it there, they're going to get sent to your business card, your chatbot business card, and we don't want that. That's going to be confusing. So basically, we are creating this chatbot business card separately in a way. It's still a part of your Facebook page, but we don't want any conflict with people who are just coming to your Facebook page and seeing that. So just trust me, remove that, all will be well. All right, so up here you'll see connect to Facebook. So go ahead and tap that, and we're going to be taken to the configure tab. All right. So I created this page called TBD. So I'm going to connect my page to that, my chatbot to that. All right, success. You see it's been published. And up here, you'll see that I now have an m.me link, which I did not have before. So those are the two ways that you can see that it is successfully connected. Now go back into your Automate tab, and we're going to get our link to create our scan code. Go down to Business Card Welcome. And if this link was not turned on before, which it probably wasn't, you just click the link. So it probably looked like this. Click the link, turn it on, and there it is. We are going to use this piece after the equal sign to create our scan code. So make a note of that. And actually, if you want to make it really easy on yourself, just go ahead and copy just this highlighted section. biz_card_welcome. And actually, here's a tip too. If you click on this right now, it's going to open a messenger window and take you right into your chatbot business card. So you can either copy this into a browser window, or you can just click on this. So it's a little shortcut. Now we're going to go to https://mssngr.io. And then from here, and make sure that's HTTPS, because I've had some problems before with it not being secure. So that S is important. Okay, take me to tools. And we're going to use this top tool called Facebook Messenger Code Generator. And you're probably going to have to authorize the page to connect with your Facebook account. So go ahead and do that. You'll go through maybe 1 or 2 different approvals in order to connect it to your account. And then once you get to this point, hit continue as you. And when you do that, you'll be brought to this page. Okay, we're almost done. All right, so for some reason, that was not this. If you see a drop down, go ahead and select the drop down and then select your page. You should see bot connected. The TBD one I hadn't authorized, so I'm just going to use my business card, my business one that's currently active. You always want to select the largest dimension or pixel, so make sure that that's on 2000. And then here is where we are going to plug in that ref parameter, those characters that came after that equal sign in our link. So if you haven't already, go ahead and put those. And I really don't do too much with these other options. Of course, you can experiment with them if you want. And then down here is where you're going to request your code. So go ahead and tap that. Awesome, green is good. Download code. And voila! That is a big old scan code. So what you can do with it from this point is, number 1, you can test it. So go ahead and get out your phone. Go into, I'm doing it right now. Go into Messenger. at the very bottom of Messenger chats, you'll see the People tab. Tap on the People tab. And if you're on an iPhone, in the upper right-hand corner, it'll say like plus person or plus something. It's like a people icon. So go ahead and tap that. And then at the top, you'll see scan code. So I'm going to go ahead and just lean back and scan my code here. Ooh, and it's working, which you can probably hear. All right, success. So now what do? Well, you do a few things. You right-click and you save the image. So go ahead and save that on your computer. It's a good idea to keep an inventory list because especially if you're going to be saving a lot of scan codes, you want to make sure that you understand which scan code belongs to which conversations or which chatbot business cards. You don't want to lose track of that because it's kind of a pain if you have to keep scanning them all the time to remember where they go. So there's that. Also, before we wrap up, I just want to show you when we go back to Chatfuel. I'm sorry I didn't show you this earlier. But after we did our test and we entered all of our information, we could then go back to our Save to Google Sheets card or plugin, and we could open Sheet. And when we open the sheet, you will see this. Yay, it worked. How easy is that? So if you meet 10, 20, 50 people at Social Media Marketing World and you use your chatbot business card, all of their information, at least those who provided it to you, will be populated into this spreadsheet for quick and easy reference, and again, to keep you well organized. All right, so that completes our training for the most part. I do just want to mention a couple of things real quick again, now that we are done with that. Okay, you need to make sure that your Facebook page settings are correct or people are not going to be able to interact with your chatbot. And what does that mean exactly? It means that you need to go into your page settings. And when you go to your page settings, you'll see on the left, the top option is General. And then in the middle, you'll see an option called Messages. And so you want to make sure that that checkbox is checked. Allow people to contact my page privately by showing the message button. And again, it's good practice. Once you turn all that on, go to your page and tap the Get Message button. People will see a Get Started option now in order to send you a message on your page, but it should not bring up your business card. Let me know if you have any problems with that, because again, we want to make them very separate. Okay, the other thing I just want to mention to you is that now that you have your scan code, you can go ahead and add it to your print materials. Say you do want to make a business card to pass out or something else, and you can save it digitally on your phone and use it as wallpaper, or even just save it as a picture. Whatever's going to be quick and easy for you to get to, so that when you're talking with people and you're like, hey, we should stay in touch, great, scan my code. Use, first obviously ask them like, hey, you got Messenger on your phone? Most people are going to say yes. I mean, with 2 billion users, most are likely to say yes. Go ahead and have them scan your code and enter their information real quick while you're standing there, or just tell them to make sure that they do it at some point. Regardless, they will be on your Messenger list, so you could always follow up with them later in that way too, but it's nice if they can provide you their information. And what's cool is now that you have your Facebook, you have your Messenger chatbot business card, you can actually go and clone that business card and you can go and clone that chatbot and create a different one for a different event. And I'll show you how to, well, actually the way that you do that is you just go back to your dashboard. I don't want to go to mine right now because it's just too messy. I have too many chatbots. So go to your dashboard, and when you see your chatbot, in the upper right-hand corner, you'll see 3 little dots. You can click on those dots and you'll see from the drop-down one called clone. Just go ahead and clone it, and then you can create a new one. And just walk through the same steps that we did. And again, let me know if you have any questions about that. And last, you could explore expanding on your chatbot. So if you want to add any frequently asked questions, maybe a menu of services that you offer, any of that to help you with your marketing, sales, events, and other things, that would be something for you also to explore, because now you've got a really great start on building a chatbot. Okay. Lastly, I just want to mention a few resources that have been super valuable to me. Number one, because you're using Chatfuel, I highly recommend that 2 things. Once you connect it to your page, you upgrade to a pro account. When you upgrade to a pro account, you are going to have access to a lot more data about your users than you would otherwise. Yes, we're able to push some things to the Google Sheet, but it doesn't provide you as valuable as insights as the People tab does. Secondly, you want to join the Chatfuel Facebook group. Andrew Demeter does an amazing job running that community, and people are so helpful. I learned so many great ideas and tips for building Chatfuel chatbots, so I highly recommend that group. Next, check out School of Bots. They got a Facebook group. They have this amazing accelerator course, and I did that course a number of months ago, and super valuable. Natasha and Kyle do an amazing job, and there are so many people that are willing to help you there, share ideas, and just really to help you grow as an agency or just somebody who is interested in experimenting with bots. So I highly recommend that group. And then lastly, me. Let me know if you have any questions, comments. I would love your feedback. I am not a trainer like this by nature, so forgive me if this wasn't the smoothest of deliveries, but I wanted to try to create a video for you that you could easily follow along than just doing something static, because I think it really does help to see it all in action and kind of come together. So please, if I can be a resource to you, don't hesitate to reach out. And lastly, I just want to say thank you. This completes the Chatbot Business Card training. I wish you many connections, many happy connections using your new Chatbot Business Card. And definitely, like I said, feel free to reach out to me if I could be of any assistance, or if you just want to kick around some ideas on how chatbots can help you or your clients with communications and engagement. I hope to meet you at Social Media Marketing World. Definitely let me know if you're going to be there. But if not, great, let's connect otherwise. Thank you again.